In this video, we're going to tackle the item catalog subcontractor section. This is where you can set up a list of default subcontractors and, if possible, their default pricing. That way, again, if you need a subcontractor on an estimate, you can simply drag and drop from this list. They'll appear in your estimate. Then you can change the estimate's cost or price as needed for that particular job. Let's take a look at how to do that. Here again, I'm in the item catalog menu. This time I'm going to click subs, and this will be my list of subcontractors. Again, if you're looking at our sample, you can see a couple of samples in there. Now there's two ways subs typically charge us, so we'll show you both ways, because other than that, subcontracting is really easy. I'll open my carpenter sub. Let's say I've got a carpenter who charges me by the hour. So I've got here, the sub name is carpenter, and the units are hours. Over here in the unit cost, that's what that carpenter or that subcontractor charges me per hour for their work. If I pay tax on their invoices, so if I pay a vendor tax, I would set that to taxable. If not, it's exempt. Down here is the sales tax. If I charge tax to my customers, then I would set that as taxable. And if it's not, it just stays as exempt. And again, if the sales tax changes by county or by state, oftentimes it changes for you, it's no problem. We can set that up on a job basis or an estimate basis. This is just the default. Once you've got your unit cost, LMN looks to your budget again and says, how much overhead do I need to add to the subs? That'll get you to your break even. And then of course your profit is up to you. If, for example, I always wanted to charge this carpenter out to my customers at $30 an hour, easy. We'll just go set a custom price. We'll set it to 30. And LMN says, okay, that's like a 12.5% profit margin. Another way to do it is to say, well, we want to make a 20% profit on this carpenter. So no problem. I'll click set a custom profit margin and I get a price. Don't forget, this profit margin here is clear net profit. Your overhead is recovered here. So your sort of markups on your subcontractor is this and this. So if you're trying to compare it to existing markups, don't forget your existing markup is probably a single number, and this is a double. You kind of have to add these two together to arrive at something comparable to your today's markup. That's how to do hourly, super easy. If you're doing a subcontractor that gives you a flat price, let's say an irrigation sub, we don't know what they're going to charge us on a job. They'll go to the job, they'll look at it, they'll tell us the price it is after they see it. So what we can do is set up an irrigation contractor as a unit's flat price. Then over here in the unit cost, I'm going to leave it at 0 because it's going to change on every single job. I'm still going to make sure I've got overhead, and I'll still set my profit margin that I want on this subcontractor accurately. I'll just leave the cost part at 0. What's going to happen is when we estimate, we can simply add this subcontractor to the estimate. When the estimator puts in the subcontractor's price that they're going to charge us, we'll key it in the estimate. That'll automatically add this much overhead and whatever profit you've set up here. So the estimator won't have to worry about remembering which subcontractors are how much markup. All that's set up here for you. They just have to add it to the estimate and then add that estimate subcontractor price. The nice thing about leaving the cost at 0 is that it'll show up in red on your estimate, alerting you that you haven't yet set a cost for that subcontractor. It's just easier than trying to guess an average unit cost here and then maybe forgetting to update it on an estimate and putting a price out the door with the wrong cost. A lot easier to keep it here at 0, and that should be a nice red flag for you if you haven't set it up yet. Other than that, subcontractors are super simple. Any questions? Be sure to hit us up on live chat or contact support. We'll get you the answers that you need.